Hello, viewers. Uh, this is Hamayun Shaw. I'm creating this video today. It's from Afghanistan, Kabul, the capital. A few days ago, I made a video, two of them actually, about a small little dog that was injured. And just to give you the background of what this place looks like, it's basically like on top of a mountain, like where I live. As you can see, all those homes on top of the mountain in my background. So I live in a high altitude place, and you get a pretty good view of the city and everything, and everything looks pretty beautiful from up here. And I'll try to give a view of the city in the background, what it looks like and stuff like that. So, anyways, you can see all those places down way over there. That's in the city. Since I'm living way on the top of the mountain. Anyways, this video is about my own personal life, which I decided to make it in different category and phases. It's basically like a book. I have also written a book. It was about one of my jobs in Afghanistan. I used to work as the supervisor of counter narcotics force, like about drugs and stuff like that. It was a big position that we were stopping narcotics and everything, mainly like opium, heroin, and stuff like that. That was during 2003, so it's been a long time. Anyways, long time ago, I used to live in United States. I lived in California and New York, and at that time I remember when I was about age of 16. It started actually from 15 years old, 16, 17. Especially at the age of 17, I was attending a junior high school, and it was called Jordan Junior High in Orange County, California. And then I attended a YGC day school, which was a high school, like a probationary school. From a young age, I started getting in trouble with the gang activities, which I used to live in Orange County, Santa Ana. And at the beginning, I also lived in Orange County, Garden Grove. And then I moved to, it was like Westminster area. Then I moved to Santa Ana later on. Anyways, from long time ago, I was involved in different type of mistakes. I just basically call them mistakes because I never really did anything serious. I was involved in small mistakes and stuff that really costed me a lot. Basically, at junior high school, I was hanging around with gang activities, gang members and stuff like that. I joined the gang when I was like 17 years old. And later on, I ended up in CYA, California Youth Authority, which CYA, it's like a juvenile prison, and basically it was called Gladiator School because how worse CYA was. Especially the one that I was in, it was called Chad back in Stockton, California. I was from Southern California, like Orange County, but this CYA was located in Northern California in the city of Stockton, like the Bay Area, San Francisco, and those areas. Anyways, as you can see my background, the city, all the lights and stuff like that. So I live on a top mountain area. It's a mountain home. Anyways, the reason why for this video is because I wanna try to help if it helps anyone with my situation at that time. One day I would just cut the story short. I'm just gonna go ahead and speak about the important parts. One day when I went to immigration court because I never applied for a U.S. citizenship, which my other family members are, but I just never applied for it. And if you're actually past the age of 17 and if you become like 18 and up, you're individually responsible because you become an adult. So, anyways, when I went to immigration court back then, it was called INS, Immigration Neutralization Service. I think now it's like Homeland Security. I'll try to give you guys a better view of what the city looks like from far away. Anyways, when I went to court at that time, immigration court, I made one of the biggest mistakes of my life, which I can never try to figure out why I did that. Even to this day, I don't understand why I did that. At that time, the judge asked me that you want to be deported, like so you can remain in the United States. And I told him, no, I want to voluntarily go to Afghanistan. I want to get deported. He said, you want to go to Afghanistan? And he was amazed when I said, yeah. And my family was really, really upset for me when I spoke with them on the phone. They were like, no, don't do that. Why'd you deport yourself? And I had been living in the United States for like 17 years. So when I decided to deport myself, anyways, cut the story short, I deported myself. I came to Afghanistan in 1998, like 2 years before September 11. All this time that I've been here, I went to United Arab Emirates, like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and stuff like that a long time ago, and some other places like Pakistan and other countries. But from all my experiences that I had in life, like from a young age, I was like 10 years old when I went to United States. I used to also live in New York. I lived in New York and California. In New York, I used to live in Queens, and I had relatives who lived in Brooklyn. I remember I had this girlfriend back in Harlem. I think it was Spanish Harlem. I used to go visit her and stuff like that. So I've been to New York, Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem, you know, Los Angeles, LA, all these places. But when I came to Afghanistan, when I saw the situation here, how it's been a war for like almost 45 years now, all the violence and all the big stuff that I saw here, it made me kind of like wake up about life. You know how like I looked at life really precious from then on. That look at myself, I made a few mistakes and look what it costed me. Something that I could problem and never fix. You know how I made that decision of deporting myself. I regret it a lot. But then there was another thing. Someone once told me to be thankful for what you did, even if you think you made a wrong decision. Because I remember, I think it was back in 1996, if I'm right. 96, 97, it was, I think in those areas. Might have been 95, 96, 97. Back then it was, I think, Governor Pete Wilson. He was the governor of California. He came up with a law called Proposition 187. He had a couple of, you could say, category phases, like what it was actually created for. Illegal immigrants, gang activity. Like basically they were focused on like the Mexican people, like deporting it back to Mexico, like Latin Americans and stuff like that. But at that time, he also came up with a law called three strikes and you're out. If you had three felonies back in 90s, like let's say those years 1995, 94, 93, you know, like 96, 97, 98, stuff like that. If you had three felonies, you basically could have got like 25 years to life. Even if your crime wasn't anything serious, you just had to be ahead of a felony. Like if you had three drug charges, a weapon and a drug charge, an assault or anything like that, you could end up for like 25 years to life. But it didn't mean that you were gonna do life, but you could have done like 25 or less, stuff like that. At that time, I had one strike. I think it was for drug charges, yeah, for cocaine. I had cocaine in my possession, but I'm not gonna lie, I was also selling at that time, like selling not large quantities, but like, you know, I was trying to like make a little bit of money and stuff like that. That's when I was like in Orange County. At that time, I had a felony and I also had a weapon charges, but the weapon, you know, I never shot no one and stuff like that. I carried it for my own protection and stuff like that at that time. But if I say like that's how the environment is, like if someone was to ask me, what do you think how the environment is in Afghanistan now? Was this a bad environment or that? Oh, this is a war. I would say this is 1,000 times worse than back then. But anyways, back to this story. I wrote a book a while back ago about one of my jobs that was really important job. I was assigned as the like supervisor of counter narcotics force in the state of Kandahar and Helmand. And we were trying to like stop all the opium production in Afghanistan, like opium poppy cultivation and stuff like that, heroin laboratories and stuff like that. And I wrote a book about that job, but at that time I didn't have a PayPal account, like an international account. So that was left behind. I had a lot of people who wanted to purchase that book. I put it up online. I still have it, but I just couldn't collect the money because I didn't have a PayPal account. I had someone in Canada who said, I'll be your manager, I'll collect it for you. But a lot of people refused to give it to him because they were no, it's got to go directly in his name and his account. If we give it to you, how are we going to know he's going to get to him? I mean, they didn't say like that, but that's how they thought. You know, the thought. Anyways, I will create a PayPal account later on for some other programs that I have. Like I basically do programs on antiquity, gemstones, because Afghanistan has a lot of antiquity and gemstones. Then also about animals. My main respect and love is for animals, basically dogs. As you guys can check out my video about the small little dog that was hit by a car, a vehicle. Uh, I mean, if you looked at him, it would have made you cry because how badly he was injured. I went to the doctor, I took him, and then I also went to the doctor today alone without him. I bandaged him, I put a bandage on him, and doctor said bring him tomorrow so I can see him, and I will make a decision whether to do an operation on him, but you gotta stitch him up because I didn't want the wound to get infection, or try to keep it clean, and how serious it is. I think she was having like breathing problem when I was listening to her, like she was breathing kind of like forcefully, so that really had me worried. So tomorrow I'm gonna take her to the veterinarian, to the animal doctor, to get her checked up and possibly get her stitched up. And there are a lot of other dogs and animals on the streets where people doesn't really care. It's like it's a different environment and culture here. But I have helped a couple of other dogs in the past who were in a different situation of dying. One of them had a bleeding diarrhea and vomiting because I think someone fed him wrong. He was a small dog like him. He kept having this bleeding diarrhea, blood diarrhea, and it was dangerous because the animal doctor, when I went over there to speak with him, he said that he's gonna die because he's basically so skinny and thin. He's keep having a blood diarrhea and he's vomiting. If you don't put him in a hospital, believe me, I swear to God, I put him in a hospital and I paid for 3 days in a hospital, an emergency, and he's okay now. He's a male dog. I named him Snowy. I will put up his video on a channel, as you people, if you're interested, you can see. Also got a video of him when he was in a hospital when he was really small. They had a serum hooked up to him and everything. So I will put that video as well, and I will do antiquity videos, all kinds of different history videos and stuff like that. But by the way, I also am gonna do video like counseling, like experiences where I understand that now a lot of young generation people are. I'm not old, I'm a young myself, but I'm just saying I'm like 42 or something. But I'm just saying, like younger guys now, they're getting in trouble with the law. I mean, all over the world. And but I don't know if they understand about prison politics once you end up in state pen and stuff like that. And I'm also gonna do some counseling about that. And if anybody's interested, you can watch that. Antiquity, animals. But if you're interested, I will do a lot of interesting videos from Afghanistan from here. And my goal is also to travel to different parts of Afghanistan from different antiquity sites and stuff. As you can see, it's also getting darker, and I will try to show you the full moon. It's pretty. Oh, as you can see right there, it's also gonna be a full moon. As you can see, the city lights all the way over there. So I'm basically located on top of a mountain. Like my house is located on top of the mountain. It's not my personal house. I rent it. But please stay tuned for other videos. By the way, if anyone has problem with depression, stress, like suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, I also do counseling about that, based on my experiences in life. That I never tried this, but I did went through a lot of depression and stress, but not the suicidal thought though. But I'm just gonna say that I can't say it never went through my mind, but uh, I was in Afghanistan without no family. I have no family, no parents, no brother, no one. I've been in Afghanistan alone for like 20 something years, supporting myself. During that time, when coalition forces were in Afghanistan, I was also a military combat interpreter with U.S. Special Forces. So I saw war and everything, firefights, fighting and everything. Anyways, I will cut the video now, but please try to follow me on the other ones. As you can see, it's getting darker, and I would do some more interesting videos as if you can follow me. Thanks. Take care.